friends, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be trying my absolute best to do a whole face of makeup using only my hands. I will tell you right now, the only thing that I use my hands for when I do my makeup is to put on moisturizer or a primer. Nothing else. I absolutely hate it. I cannot use my fingers to put on foundation. It's always a brush or a blender. Now I just keep talking with my hands. So today I'm just going to try and do all of these steps using just my hands and my fingers and see if it comes out looking okay. So let's get started. First, I always pull the bangs away. There we go. So my face is already washed and moisturized. I just need primer. I am using the Revlon Photo Ready Rose Glow Hydrating and Illuminating Primer. So this is not new to me. I always use my hands for this. And my foundation today is going to be the Perfect Foundation from Limelight by Alcone. I really love this foundation's finish and the way it applies, but I have never used my fingers to apply it before. So here we go. Oh my god. There we go. I really don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Like, am I supposed to smear it? Or do I tap it in? Like, is it a mixture of both? I have no idea. And that definitely wasn't even enough. Simba. So it's not as full coverage as I normally get it to be using brushes and sponges. So I'm just going to go over again in a couple of my redder areas with some more extra foundation. I don't know. I did a mixture of like tapping and wiping at the same time. See, and this is why I also don't like my hands, using my hands. Like, you have to clean them every single time. Brushes, you just use a new one every single time. After foundation comes concealer. I have the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I am the shade 330 Ivory. So this one comes with a wand, so I will have to just, no, not that hand. I guess just like that. I don't know. Let's try it. You know, I kind of like the idea of using my finger to apply under the eye because I do have a hard time with the blender getting it like so close in the corner here and like so close to the lash line. And with your finger, it's actually a lot easier and it gets in there better. Wow, I actually like that. A little bit more on the forehead. Well, that's as good as that's going to get. Next I'm going to do contour, and this is just a highlight and contour stick that I got from Hard Candy. So same thing, I guess. I'm just going to draw it on my fingers. There we go. Replacing it. Okay, that is all I'm using for that. It is actually really hard to do it that way. Normally I would be putting on powder, setting powder, but I don't know how I'm going to do that with my fingers. And I also don't have a cream blush, but I do have lipstick. So you know what? We're just going to give this a go. That's pretty. I've never used it like this before, but I see people do that all the time. Something that I'm noticing is I see a lot of transfer, I guess you could call it. I can see where my foundation like will come off a little bit when I've touched it afterwards. Using blush like that is really pretty. So for now I'm just gonna skip setting powder. I might come back to it at the end. Eyebrows. How am I supposed to do this using only my fingers? I'm thinking I will try some brow gel and put some of that on my finger just in like a really straight line, and then use that to kind of brush it through. I don't know. Let's try it. Barely comes off the wand. Does it look darker? I have no idea. No, how am I supposed to do this skinny end? Somebody please tell me. Ah. That's all I'm doing. So note to self, brow gel does not transfer very well from the applicator to your finger. Alright, well, those are the eyebrows. So now I will move on to my eyeshadow, and I will be using primer first. So on the finger it goes. You know, this might be an easier way to apply this primer too, is using my fingers. Now for eyeshadow, I am going to keep this as simple as I possibly can. I am going to try to do some kind of blended out looking color, one color, and then just some shimmer across the lid. I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette because it's got some really pretty shimmers that I think will look really good when using my finger to apply them. I'm going to use the shade Warm Taupe. I've got about that much on my finger. I guess an upside with using your finger for eyeshadow is you don't have to worry about fallout, but it's a lot harder to place it where you want. You're just kind of dabbing it and praying to the gods that it looks right. They're not even. This is just getting worse and worse as I keep adding on more and more. That's it, I'm just gonna have to stop. Next I'm gonna use the shade Primavera. Beautiful gold shimmery shade. My eyes are so messy, but it's on and it looks okay. It's not like the worst thing ever. How am I gonna do my under eye? I got some on my pinky and I'm going to try and do a little bit on the under lash line. I have no idea what's happening. I can't believe that actually did something. That worked. So next I would normally do mascara and then lashes. So I'm gonna use this Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational Mascara. But you guessed it, with my finger. So I'm just gonna put some of the mascara from the wand on my finger and just, I guess, brush it against my lashes. See what sticks. Nothing really. It's just so sticky, it doesn't even come off my finger. Well, there's the smallest amount of mascara on my lashes. I'm going to cheat and put some fake lashes on, so I will be right back. Okay, we're back. Lashes are on. I feel 10 times better with them on, to be honest. So I will move on to a lipstick. I'm going to use this color from NYX Lip Lingerie. It's in the shade Embellishment, and it's kind of got a pale purpley tone. So, here we go. The hardest thing is trying to get everything even as the other side. So that would be the end, but I have decided to try using some setting powder with my fingers in my oily spots. And I also forgot highlighter, so then that has to come yet. So for setting powder, I'm going to use my Lime Life Translucent setting powder. I don't know how much I should. I have no idea. Oh my god. No. Okay, there we go. Just gotta blend it a bit, but I'm worried about smudging and I'm worried about transfer. So I get really shiny here. It might look okay through the camera, but honestly, up close, it's a little bit of a mess. It's just not as perfect as I usually get it to be. I don't know if you can see the transfer on my fingers. It's a little bit like my foundation color is coming off, but that did go better than I thought it would. And for highlighter, I will be using Makeup Revolution Highlighter Reloaded in the shade Just My Type. So again, here we go. Oh, so much comes off. Oh my god, it's gonna be blinding. It's not when you just pat it on, unless you layer it, I guess. Like, my skin feels really sticky. You know, a brush just like glides over nicely, but I'm scared to glide because I don't want everything to move. Okay, I did it. That's a whole face using just my fingers. And I did pretty much everything except an eyeliner and except mascara on my bottom lashes. That will be a mess. So my thoughts. My foundation isn't as full coverage as I can get it to be with a damp beauty blender. The eyeshadow does not blend very well using just your fingers. I don't know what it would be like using multiple colors. Like, I definitely wouldn't have been able to cut my crease or anything, so I just skipped that. I guess if you could avoid using powders for most of it, it would make it a lot easier, because if you noticed, I didn't use a powdered blush or a powdered bronzer. So honestly, it didn't turn out that bad, but I much prefer using tools instead of my fingers. The only thing that I think I would do again is using lipstick as blush and using my fingers to apply that. I think it was really cute and pretty. So here's one last look at the final result. So let me know what you think and tell me if you use your fingers for any part of your makeup routine. Thanks for watching. Bye!